How is your energy and happiness? Would you like to feel like you're living your best and working at your best at the highest level? Would you like to look your best? What is up, speakers? Today we have experts in the house who are going to talk to you about upleveling your life and your business. My name is Laura Rubenstein. I'm your host and producer today, and I'd like to have you meet our experts today. So let's go over to Nasreen. Hi, Nasreen.
Hi, I'm Nasreen Barbic. I'm a transformational life coach, hypnotherapist, and energy healer. And I live in Sterling, Virginia. And you can find me online on pathwaytolastingjoy.com.
Wonderful. Great to have you here. And Francine, hi.
Hi, my name is Francine Tone. I'm an attorney and a performance optimizer, business strategist, four-time #1 best-selling author, and high-performance athlete. And you can find me at francinetone.com. And I live in the mountains by Lake Tahoe, California.
Great to have you, Francine. And hi, Jose.
Hi, my name is Jose Brisebois, and I'm a personal brand style expert and fashion stylist. My website is wecanstyle.com. I am from Montreal originally, but I live in San Diego, sunny San Diego.
Wonderful. Great to have you here down the road in San Diego here too. And like I said, we're talking about upleveling your life and your business. And I know each of you are experts in this area. So I want to get right into it and learn what advice do you have for speakers, for women business owners to uplevel their life? And I thought I'd talk with you first, Nasreen, about what you have to offer.
Sure, Laura, perhaps there is no better way to uplevel your life than having a gratitude practice. Gratitude has such a big joy booster that in research right now, gratitude is getting a lot of attention. The significant improvement of having a gratitude journal daily and journaling are things that you're very grateful for. It could be little thing or big thing, is that you can sleep better. After a while, you feel less anxious and you feel happier and you have a better attitude towards forgiveness. And I recommend having a gratitude practice that you daily write about 5 to 10 minutes. And first you start with loving yourself. You write down 3 things about yourself that you appreciate, things that you love about yourself. And this is going to connect you to your own self-love and self-value. And second one, I recommend you write 3 things about your career, your business that you enjoy. So you can connect with that inner joy that you can create at work in your business. And we know what you focus on, expand, and what you focus on. When you focus on all the things that you appreciate and you love in your life, you create more of that. And the third one is to write down 3 things about your significant other, your children, or someone that you like to create a better relationship with. And when you do this daily, your focus is on gratitude and joy, and you create more of that in your daily life.
I love that. It's transformational, it really is upleveling to your life. And you gave us such specific things to do that it makes it from just, yeah, be grateful to here's how you actually practice gratitude. So thank you for those tips and in-depth, exercises we can do. And Francine, I wanted to go over to you, and I know you have a whole specialty in helping people out of their stressful situation. So what advice do you have for people, our viewers today, to uplevel their life?
So the people that come to me are typically overwhelmed, stressed out, burned out, and are starting to wonder, how did they get here? And they've lost the joy and passion in their life and in their careers. And sometimes, in fact, most of the time, they come to me with, I think it's time for me to change careers. I don't have the passion in my career that I used to have. And yet they've spent years in that career and they have expertise in that career. And they feel kind of guilty sometimes and wonder, wow, I spent all these years doing this and now it doesn't bring me joy. Well, before you jump ship, my goal is to get you to start really looking at where you are first. And what we do is a personal SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for, the S is strength, W is weakness, O is opportunity, and T is threat. And so you can imagine that strengths and opportunities kind of go hand in hand, and weaknesses and threats tend to go hand in hand. And businesses have used SWOT analysis for many, many years to up-level businesses. This is what they use to figure out, where are you now? Where are the strengths and weaknesses? What are the opportunities and threats? So they can create a strategy for moving forward. And this is how businesses have up-leveled businesses for years. And most businesses do it at least once a year, sometimes more often. But people, individuals, have typically don't do SWOT analysis because it looks like a business tool. But I'm here to tell you it is not. It is a tool to be used in your personal life. So when clients come to me, you and I sit down and go through the SWOT analysis, and I send you home with the SWOT workbook. So one of the things you can do is to do this on your own. You don't need the workbook to do this. You need 4 pieces of paper, and title them Strength, Weakness, Opportunities, and Threats. And to go through and honestly look at your strengths. And I recommend you don't just do it yourself. Do it yourself, then go talk to your husband or wife, your significant other, even your kids or your coworkers, your boss, and say, well, what are my strengths? Because let's face it, we're our worst critics. And you'll identify some strengths, but you're not going to identify all of them. And then to look at your weaknesses. And this one's kind of hard because we don't like to look at our weaknesses, but be honest and go back to your spouse and say, what are some of my weaknesses? Here's a clue. Look at your strengths and flip it over, because that's going to be your biggest weakness, and write those down. And then when you start looking at those and then looking at opportunities, once you do the strength and weaknesses, then pretty soon opportunities start showing up. If you look at your strength and you're like, I could do this, I could do that. And they've been there all along. You've just been missing them because you're kind of stuck in that burnout. And then look at the threats, look at your weaknesses and say, if I let my weaknesses go without improving on them or getting some help, what could happen to me? Because the threats are usually the result of letting weaknesses run your life. When you've gone through a SWOT analysis, it'll give you a clear picture of where you are. Because if you want to up level, you need to know where you are so you can design good strategies to get you where you want to go. So SWOT analysis is something I do with all my clients, and I find it's like a miracle. It opens eyes.
Yeah, this is brilliant. I mean, awareness is the key to change, and that is a fabulous tool for getting awareness. And I'll have to say that what Nasreen said, if you start the practice of gratitude, it'll put you in a really good space to look at yourself, because you're in a grateful space, and then it makes that doing that SWOT analysis a little bit easier. So I want to now go over to Jose and say you've done all that, you've done this work on yourself. Now, what advice would you give to people to up level their life? They're clear, they're grateful, but then there's this whole other area of their life. Tell us what you advise.
So, what I always tell my clients is you need to stress on quality over quantity. And this is so important. Well, not to mention the quantity, it makes us like confused and overwhelmed whenever we walk in our closet. But focusing on quality is so important because as women speakers, as women entrepreneurs, we are the face of our company. And we all have a professional looking website. We all have a professional looking business cards and flyers or whatnot. And what about the way that you present yourself? Like, this is the first thing that people see when they meet you. So you need to project an image that says that you are good at what you do, you're successful, and that will translate into your services are of high quality as opposed to like maybe not so.
When
I often see women wearing like cheaper looking clothes, and it just does not project the image that they need to project as a business owner. And I'm not saying like you need to spend like your entire monthly paycheck on a wardrobe, because nowadays it's easier than ever to find great sales online, consignment stores, flash sale sites, Nordstrom's Rack even. I mean, there's so many places where we can find like great quality for a fraction of the cost. So that's what I mainly tell women. I know a lot of stylists focus on colors, and it's important, it makes you look better. But personally, and from my experience working with all my clients, the quality like wins every time.
That's brilliant because when you look good, you feel good. So if we've already worked on the beginning aspects of our inside, and like you said, even the external on the flyers, on the brochures, on the websites, everything now can be congruent with your advice to just take your quality of your clothing to the next level to where it reflects who you are. And I would imagine, Jose, maybe you can give us another piece of advice here. So how do I know if it's a good fit for me? Like, is there a style I should look for? General rules you could give people about, okay, when I go to the store and I see quality clothing, not all of them are going to look right on me. Any
No,
tips?
no. So you need to have a clear understanding of one, what's your personal brand style. Like working on developing your personal brand style is going to be congruent and consistent with what your message is and what your whole business is all about. And then the other aspect. So I forgot the question.
No, it's just that if I'm walking into a store and I love your advice about
Yeah.
my brand style, so I have to think about what my brand style is. Is it fun? Is it playful? Is it professional? Is it funky? Is it
Yes. So thank you, because I totally forgot to say that. So one way to go about it is think about three words that you would want people to perceive you at. So for example, for me, like I know I have like artsy, very elegant, sophisticated, for example. So think about, and for you, it could be adventurous, fun, it could be anything, but think about three words that you want people to perceive you at, that represent who you are and that represent what your message is in your business. And see if the way you're dressing right now, does it really represent what those words are?
beautiful? And then go shopping to do it.
Exactly.
Perfect to match it. This advice has been great for up leveling. So each of you are experts in your own field. I want to learn a little bit more about who you work with, what you do, who you speak to, and maybe a story about either someone you worked with or and to achieve a result, or your own story, how you got there. So Nasreen, would you like to share with us who you work with and what you do?
Yes, absolutely. I work with professional women who help them to reclaim their feminine power, self-love, and self-confidence so they can connect to that inner joy so they can manage life, work, and life with ease and joy. And unlike traditional coaching, my holistic approach is to combine coaching method, hypnotherapy, and energy healing to put an individual in the path of lasting joy.
Fabulous. And do you have a story of either how you helped someone or how you got there?
Absolutely. I would love to share my own story because my story started in 2013. And at that time, my life looked perfect from outside in. I had a 13-year career as a software engineer, worked for NASA and George Washington University. And I was married for 10 years. I had two kids. And from outside, my life was looking great. But deep inside, I was not happy. And I was confused because I felt like I should be happy, but I couldn't feel the happiness and joy. And making the long story short, after a year, I found myself in the middle of divorce and I was unhappy at work too. And nothing seems to make me happy. And I went to this journey of finding myself and asked myself, how did I get here and how can I get myself out of this? And my journey first took me to yoga, which helped me get rid of those chatters in my head, the anxiety that I was feeling. I started feeling a little bit better. And then I turned to meditation, and meditation helped me to get rid of those chatters that was telling me that my husband is to blame, the outside circumstances were to blame. And that helped me to be able to think more clear. And although I was going to a therapist for marriage therapy and for myself, after a year, I felt like I was not getting the benefit that I was looking for. And every time I would change a therapist and talking about my past again would put me in even in a, worse place that I began with the therapy with, because I was in the energy of the past constantly. So a friend suggested that I should try something new, and I hired my life coach. And after three sessions, I started seeing results. And I became such a believer that I decided to go to school and learn from the same place that my coach got her degree, Quantum Success Coaching Academy, and become a life coach. And I wasn't at all thinking about ever I'm going to become a coach, because I had a long career as a software engineer. And that evolved to seeing a hypnotherapist. And, the inner child healing was so powerful that I fell in love with the process, and I wanted to learn more and go deeper, see why is this so powerful. And I went back to school and became a hypnotherapist. And I did some energy healing, and I fell in love with Reiki, and I became a Reiki master. And Laura, I can't say enough the changes in my life. After 2 years of separation with my husband, we got back together. Literally nothing changed. I was still with my husband, same job, everything, but everything was different. And I had so much joy and self-love and enjoying my life. And I had people just coming to me, people who knew me, telling me, what you've been up to? They noticed the change. How did you get back to your husband? How is everything working so great all of a sudden? So I started coaching them part-time. And before I know it, I was so busy that I felt like, okay, I have a full-time job as a software engineer. I have 2 kids and part-time business, and I need to let something go. And at that point, through my healing journey, I found my own purpose in life and joy in life. And that was to help others to find inner joy and connect with their joy and become the, powerful manifester that they are and create their own desire in life. So
Beautiful. Um,
eventually I decided to quit my job and do what I do now full time.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's so inspiring what you've
Thank
gone
you.
through. And I bet, Francine, you can relate to a lot of this. So you work with a lot of people. So Francine, I'd love to hear about who you work with, what you do, and a story about maybe someone you've helped.
Okay, so high achieving and very driven women, especially women and professionals and executives, hire me because they want to harness freedom, because most of them are just too busy to be able to see the time and energy that is actually hidden in their lives. And I help them find that energy and time so they can live a life, create that life integration that they so want. These are women who wake up in the morning, and I was that woman at one point. You wake up in the morning, you go, God, how did I get here? I'm so tired. And you wake up, the alarm goes off, and you go, oh, here we go again, another day. And it starts, what you thought was bringing you passion when you started starts to become mundane and routine. And I was that person working many, many hours a day, stressed out, overwhelmed, burned out. So I started working with women doing this because I went through this process myself. And I want to tell you about one of my clients. I'll just call her LP. I'll call her Lisa. It's easier to say a name, Lisa. And she had heard one of my talks where I was talking about the effects of chronic stress and the way the brain works, because I spent a lot of my life studying neuroscience and the brain. And she came to me and said, I thought you were talking to me. Because she said, I'm burned out. I'm an attorney and I'm working long hours. I do spend time with my family and my kids, but I just don't have energy. I work out, but I'm not seeing any results. I'm trying to eat right. My life, my business, it's just too much. And maybe I should change careers and go do something else. So what I do with these high performing driven women is we work together for 3 months. And because these women don't want to spend 6 months, a year fixing this problem, they want to get it done out so they can get back to living life, getting their work done, building their careers, building their businesses. So my purpose is to get you in and out as fast as possible, just like I've done with my legal clients. So in 3 months, in less than 3 months, she had turned her life around. In fact, she began seeing visible signs of improvement as a result of her working out. She was getting compliments out of the blue. This has never happened to her, getting compliments of how great she looked, because it wasn't just the physical transformation, but the internal transformation from inside. She began seeing the joy and the passion, began harnessing more time and energy, because we started prioritizing and releasing things out of her brain bandwidth. And started spending more time with her family. She took a vacation with her husband during this 3-month period, and she came back and said, I have never felt so recharged and rejuvenated from a vacation, just 1 week. And hasn't happened to her in years. And her confidence in her life and her business came back, and she began making more money in her business by getting rid of some of her cases. So yeah, she was excited. I was excited for her. It just made my day when I got that email from her saying all these wonderful things that happened to her. And that's why I do it.
That's beautiful. It's great to see that you can actually have a better life, a more fruitful life, if you actually let go of some of that stress and
Right.
responsibility. It's great. Thank you for the work you do. And Jose, I want to hear from you about your work. Who do you work with? What do you do? And do you have a story?
Well, I specialize in working with women speakers and entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals who want to climb up the ladder. It's all about, like, as I said, like, needing to project a more successful image so that they want to go where they want to go. Um, so they get where they want to go. And what I do is I help them to create their signature style, and I teach them how to look more polished and successful. Because when they do that, what happens is that, first of all, they gain instant credibility as soon as they step in front of, ideal clients, or as soon as they step on stage. And also what it does is, I was going to say magically, but it's not really magical, because it's kind of like, it makes sense. They start attracting like higher level people, higher level clients, higher level opportunities. All of this starts happening, and making money more money in the process. So as an example, I have a client, and my type of clients are normally like high achieving as well. So I have this one client, like super smart MIT graduate, like very, very smart woman. She worked in the corporate world most of her life as an executive, but then she transitioned to be like a business coach, a business consultant. And she didn't quite know how to translate or transition into like what kind of image that would look like. So she didn't dress the part, and she was kind of like struggling a little bit to be successful. And so after working together, she started attracting like accounts like Pizza Huts, and she told me, like, I have to pinch myself every day, because like people literally treat me differently, and I attract like the best way I can describe it, like higher level people. And I met with this billionaire, and the first meeting, he complimented me on my clothes, and we closed the deal on the first meeting. So those are the kind of things that happen to these women, and it just like, it makes my heart sing, because I like to say my mission is to help women gain their confidence back from all of the bullies they've encountered in their life. Just like, exude confidence and feel good and successful.
It's such a gift that you give them. And today, all three of you have given us a gift of how to up level our life from the inside to the outside. And I think they work complementary, from getting that foundation with gratitude, Nesrine, like you talked about, to doing the analysis and the internal introspection, Francine, and really feeling good inside, and then reflecting that out, building that confidence, like you said, Jose, with the clothing that you wear, making the choice to present that brand to the world confidently. So this has been a rich show. I just want to wrap up with one final segment about, you know, you women who are here because of Women Speakers Association, sharing your message to the world. And that's what we do. And if you're interested in finding out about that, go to joinwsa.com. But I want to hear from each of you about what is the value that Women Speakers Association already offers you. And Nasreen, maybe you can give us a 30-second snapshot.
Sure. Women Speaker Association helped me to become an international bestseller author. And that was something that I wanted to do for a long time, but just hearing from others that how much effort they put into publish their own book. And my motto is I live my life with joy and ease. I didn't find the ease on that, but having Women Association help me publish my story has been the greatest ease and joy. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Francine, what has the value been for you?
Well, WSA has been incredibly valuable for me, partly because I'm now a international #1 best-selling author, but also the community is a collection. It's like a think tank for me because we all have great ideas, but none of us individually can come up with all of the good ideas. And to be a part of WSA is to be part of the think tank, to grab ideas from everybody. And that has great value for me.
Wonderful. I love that. And Jose, what has been the value for you with WSA, Women Speakers Association?
For me, it's really been to connect with fellow women speakers and support each other because I feel like we're all kind of like very driven, and we have like a mission, and I find a lot of like support in that, like that we understand each other and we're kind of like right there with each other. So it's been connecting with those kind of women that I associate with.
Beautiful. Well, you heard it here, everyone, from our authors and speakers today that Women Speakers Association is here to help you get your message out, to connect with a community, to thrive with your tribe, to leverage the network. So thank you, Nasreen and Jose and Francine, for your wisdom today. We will be back with you for another episode of Women Speakers Association, as we are here on Thursdays. And please check out our WSATV.com blog. You can learn from all of our guests that we've had, our experts in the fields that they're in. We have tons of shows for you, and we'll be back again soon. Bye now.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Laura.
Bye.
Thank you.